Will you hit
Yep.
continue? Just letting everyone in. Hello, everyone. All right, so as you guys come in, I want to say hello. I'm going to give everyone a second to be jumping into the Zoom meeting. All right, so as you guys do jump in, turn on your camera for me if you want to, because I always love to see your faces. It's always fun to get some feedback and have you guys say hello to me. So make sure you turn on your camera if you're ready and willing, because I'll ask for those thumbs up and those hellos. But for those of you that don't know me, I am Lynn Lilly, craft and DIY expert. If you're a fan of Michael's, you probably have seen me around and about. But today I'm excited to be here with Tulip, which has been a brand that I have grown up with, and I am sure some of you have the same sentiment. So we are making last minute Halloween costumes this week. Earlier this week, we made some party animal costumes, but today is all about the kiddos, and we're gonna make a easy last minute superhero costume. And the best part is it glows in the dark, which is really fun for the kids. So no matter what your Halloween looks like, it's still fun for your family to dress up. And you can translate what I'm doing today also into an adult costume. So as we get started, if you want to turn on your cameras, please do and say hello to me. I know we've got some people. I see you guys tuning in. All right, I got a wave over there. Wonderful. All right, so we're going to get started. And the basis of our costume today is going to be a t-shirt, and then we're going to make a cape out of felt. So everything that you see here today, you can also get at Michael's. We've got Olivia who is attending the meeting. It says, Olivia asked me a question. So if you have a question about any step that I'm doing today or any product that I'm using, you can send her a private message and she'll answer that question for you, or she'll either stop me and get me to answer it live. So make sure you ask any of those questions, or if you need links to any of the Tulip products that I'm using today, we can get those to you. All right, so we're gonna use a t-shirt. I've got a white t-shirt here. This is a youth size Gildan T-shirt. You can get it in youth, toddler, adult, men and women. So plenty of options. And we chose white as our base, but you can choose another color if you want to have a different color superhero costume. So we're going to set this aside for just a minute, and we're going to make one of the pieces that's going to go on our t-shirt. So I'm starting with a regular piece of red felt. And what you can do is take something that's circular. So I have a bowl here, and I also cut out a lightning strike. So I just drew a lightning strike and cut it out of a sheet of paper. So if we switch to the top-down camera, I'll be able to get you guys the best view. So we'll switch to that so you guys can see it. Perfect. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put your lightning strike on your piece of felt, and then you're also going to put whatever you are tracing that is over it. So I've just got a circular bowl that I use for crafting, and then you're going to take your pencil and you want to trace the bowl, and you want to press just a little hard so that pencil transfers, and we're going to trace stopping right at where that line is. So we're going to trace around the pieces of our lightning bolt that are sticking out. So just give yourself some nice pencil marks there, okay? And then we're gonna lift it up and we're gonna leave our lightning bolt there. And what we wanna do, and I know this might be hard for you guys to see, so I'll lift it up in just a second, but I'm also gonna use my pencil, and I'm going to trace around the lightning bolt on the inside there. Now, I chose a lightning bolt, but if your kids have some different symbol that is a superhero power to them, you can pick a different symbol to put in the center of the circle. All right, so once we get this traced, we're going to cut it out. And I'm using a pencil, but you could also use a marker as well. But pencil's easier because you don't see it as much and it won't smear. Okay, so check it out. Lift it up a little higher. I actually have one on this side too that you might be able to see that's a little bit darker. Yeah, you guys see it? Okay, cool. And if you are just popping into the meeting, feel free to turn your camera on if you want to say hello to me. I always love those waves. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out, okay? And we're going to cut out following the circular line. And then we also want to make sure that we stay on the outside lines of that lightning bolt that we created. Once we get this cut out, we're going to take it over to the shirt and do something fun with it. So if you have questions as we're getting started, feel free to send a direct private message to the account on there that says, Olivia, ask me a question. So you can direct message her with any questions that you may have, and she will do her best to answer you quickly, or she'll stop me and I will answer you as well. All right, so once you get it cut out around the circle, we're actually going to cut along the lines on the inside of the lightning bolt. So you can see we've got the circle right there. And then you can see we've got our lines, our lightning bolt. So we're going to actually cut these, right? Just like that. And we're going to save that lightning bolt because we're going to need it in a second to trace on our shirt, okay? So do a little line right there. And we're going to cut this out. And this is going to come into 2 pieces that we're going to keep. All right, and I don't know about you, but superheroes are one of the most popular costumes this year. So superheroes, black cats are some of the most popular searched costumes this year. So we're giving you something on trend that you can help your kiddos make last minute. And if you're like me, so I have a daughter who is about to be 3, and dress up is very big right now. So we've been making a lot of costumes that we will then keep, and we've started a dress up closet. So think about that. So this doesn't have to just be for Halloween. All right, so we've got our 3 parts here, and we want to save our lightning bolt as well. We can kind of set our excess aside, and we're going to come over to our t-shirt. Okay, so we want to lay out our t-shirt. And again, you can pick whatever size. I have a youth size here, but we can do youth, adults, toddler, whatever you got. All right, and so we want to get our circles kind of angled back to where the lightning bolt is. So what you can do is get your lightning bolt kind of back in there, figure it out so your circles kind of line up where they should be, okay? And then we're going to pull this guy out. And we're going to take some glue. So we're using our Aleene's Fabric Fusion. And this glue is washable, which is nice. So all the products that we're using today, including all of the fun stuff we're using from Tulip, which I'll show you in just a second, everything is washable. So we know with kiddos, costumes inevitably need to be washed, right? The kids are always going to get them messy, spill something on them. So you can wash this in your washing machine, which is nice. So we're going to glue this to our shirt like that. And remember, we're leaving that space, and you do have a minute. So if for some reason you kind of get out of whack and your lightning bolt isn't lined up, you've got a minute to readjust. But we're going to let that dry, and you can save this. This could be a craft for something else. And then we're going to come over and we're going to use our, let me get them up to camera so you can see them, our Tulip rainbow fabric markers. And these are in our fine tip. And so I'm going to pull out my yellow one, and we're going to, on the inside right here, we're going to finish out what would be the end of our lightning bolt. So we can kind of come back here, finish it out. And then we're going to go ahead and on the inside of here, we're going to do a nice little outline. And then you can fill it in if you want as well. So you can come and you can color this guy in. It's up to you. So you can see how nice. I'll start to color this in so you can see it. But it's really quick. So this is, if you're going to make this with your kiddos or your kiddos are going to make it, these are all products that are friendly for the kids. So they can easily make this along with you. You guys could do this as a family. And keep in mind, this doesn't just have to be for Halloween. So maybe you already have your costume. You could do this as a costume that the kids can have for dress up another time. And so I'm coloring semi-quickly for the purposes of the class, but you can go back in and just make sure you get a solid, nice coloring. But I want to show you how much fun we're going to have with our glow in the dark dimensional fabric paint. So if you're a fan and have used it before, you know how awesome it is because it looks really good during the day. And also at night, it's really fun and glows. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. All right, so finish coloring in our tail right here. And we've got our lightning bolt that comes through. Now, we're going to set this marker aside and we're going to use one of our glow in the dark Tulip products. So check it out. So this is our yellow. You can choose any color you want, but obviously we're going to go with yellow because that's what color we colored in our lightning bolt. And I have my table covered with craft paper, so I always just like to do a little bit off of my project to make sure that it's flowing well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline this because I want it to glow in the dark. Now, you could fill in the entire thing if you wanted. Instead of coloring it in with your fabric markers, you could also fill in the entire lightning bolt if you want it to completely glow. Now, you'll see how nice and easy this flows. The tips on this are really fine tips. So you get a nice, really easy point, and then we're going to outline our circle as well. So that glows in the dark. All right, we're almost done with our t-shirt. I'm going to show you some other options that you guys can add to it. You can get as crazy or as fun as you want. But we've got our lightning bolt in the center, and then you could do some fun stuff. Let me see if I can give you a view of the sleeves here. So if you want, you could take your marker and you could also color in what are some maybe kind of jagged lines that could also look like lightning bolts with your yellow marker. You could also do this just with your dimensional yellow glow in the dark fabric paint. So we could do that. And then if we wanted, we could come back and we could also trace along and you could fill this in. So you can have as much fun with this as you have time for. So keep in mind, you'll need to let your paint dry. Depending on where you live is how long it takes to dry. So just keep that in mind. And once it's dry, you can wash it. I always recommend washing inside out just for safety. But all right, so let me show you a finished dry shirt. So you could kind of go on the sleeves all the way down, but I'm going to show you one that is finished and dry. We're going to set this guy right here for right now. So check out this one. I made this in my daughter's size because I know she loves superhero stuff. So you can see we've got our lightning bolt. We did our lightning strikes on sleeves. We also did it below. So that's the shirt. But we're not done because we've got some more fun. We're going to make a cape, which I think is really, really cool and easy to do with just regular sheets of felt. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to set this aside, but how cute is that? Superhero, you can personalize this too. So maybe you take your dimensional fabric paint and you write your child's name on it, which I'm going to do on the cape, but you could do it on the t-shirt as well. Now, if you did tune in late, keep in mind, guys, that this video will be live in about 28 to 48 hours. On the classes page on michaels.com. So where you guys went to sign up for this class, you will be able to watch this video. So if you missed any part of it or want to go back and rewatch. All right, so now we need felt for this and you need 4 sheets. So the same felt that we used to cut out the emblem on our shirt. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 at a time to create our cape, and we want to line both of them up. And as you guys are making crafts for Halloween and using any awesome Tulip products, we want to see what you're making. So use that hashtag Tulip Crafts. I know the team at Tulip who was on here loves to see what you guys are making. All right, Olivia, how are we doing on questions over there? Do we have any that I can answer? Are we good?
Yeah, Emily wants to know, does the marker bleed through the shirt to the other side?
It does not, Emily. It is amazing. It is designed specifically for fabric, so it does not bleed. So I didn't even put anything in between my t-shirt. You don't have to because it won't bleed through. So, all right, keep me posted if we've got some more questions. All right, so what I just did here, if we can go to the top-down camera, I can kind of show you how I'm putting together this cape. So I used my Fabric Fusion, again, by Aleene's, and I just did one line down the side. So I'm going to glue these 2 pieces together, okay? And then I'm going to do the exact same thing with my second 2 pieces. So we'll set that one aside. I'm going to take my second 2 pieces. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to take my glue, and along the long side here, we are just going to add one nice little stripe of glue. And remember, this glue is also washable. So once it's dry, you can also wash this cape, which is nice. Okay, so now the next step, these are going to take a minute to dry. So what you're going to do is you would unfold this and you can kind of keep your crease. You'd want to let this dry a little bit more than I am now, obviously, for sake of the video. I wanted to show you guys what the next step will look like. So we've got one that's unfolded, right? So it looks like a book. We're going to take our glue and we're going to put some glue right along the top edge of our, we'll call it our felt book. That's folded open. So that top edge, we're going to put some glue, okay? And then we're going to take our other piece and we want to make sure that we leave that kind of crease where we glued it, right? And we're going to place it directly on top and we're going to line it up, okay? So we're going to line these pieces up and then we're going to let them completely dry. So line them up, let them completely dry. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's dry. So we're going to set this guy down here to dry. So check it out. We were right here, right? Unfold it. And you have what is the beginnings of a cape, right? So it's our 4 pieces of felt that are glued together. So this is really easy. You don't have to have a large piece of felt. Now, our next step is we want to cut it into the shape of a cape. So I'm going to take my scissors. You can use a pencil if you want, but I'm just going to kind of freehand it. I'm going to start at my bottom corner, and I'm just going to cut up at an angle so that the top is slightly thinner than the bottom, right? Because capes kind of have that triangle shape to them, and it doesn't have to be exactly, but it's going to be a triangle with a flat top. So a lot wider at the bottom. So you'll kind of see what that line looks like in just a second. All right, so you kind of see that line right there. We're going to do the same exact thing on this side. So we're going to start cutting up. We'll start about right there. We'll cut up. Then you kind of want to try and make sure you keep it even. You could always fold this in half too. So if you're not good at eyeballing it or you don't want to measure it, you could fold it in half and cut the sides at the same time. You will just need a super sharp scissor to make sure that that happens. All right, so once we get this guy cut up, okay, see what it looks like, right? Now, because our bottom, we want to have something wavy. So it looks like our cape is blowing in the wind. I'm just going to cut a wavy line right here at the bottom of my cape. So you could cut it as a chevron line, a zigzag line, whatever you want, but keeping it simple and just going to do some waves so that they don't have to be perfect. All right, so once we get this part done, okay, it's time to have some fun with it. Now, if you got a little edge right here, you can kind of cut that guy so he's a little bit more even. All right, so you guys see the general shape of the cape. Now, we've got some craft foam. You can use craft foam, you can use felt, you could even use paper if this is going to be a one-time use, but I like craft foam. It works really well. It's flexible. It's nice. So I cut out a lightning bolt that matched the same shape that I had on my t-shirt, okay? So we're going to put that right there on the center of our cape, and we're going with that lightning, so lightning fast, right? Although I don't know if I want my daughter to be any faster than she already is. All right, so I'm going to just put some of my Fabric Fusion on the back here to glue this onto my cape. I'm going to glue it at an angle right there, okay? And then our next step is I cut out another piece. So this is just a jagged line. This can be any kind of shape. You can do a rectangle, a circle, and we're going to glue this down here because we're going to personalize this one as well. So we're going to glue this piece on. And as a reminder, you could use felt for this as well, whatever you prefer. I just like the look of foam. We're going to put that right there, okay? So we've got both of those on. You're going to want to let those dry, but we are going to personalize it. So there's 2 ways you could do it. You could just take your glow in the dark dimensional paint. You could write something if you wanted, but if you want it to glow in the dark, start with this. So I'm getting it up close so you guys can see. I'm using my green Tulip dimensional fabric paint glow in the dark because of course I want it to glow. So I'm going to write my daughter's name. Now you can write anything you want. You could write Super Lily. My daughter's name is Lily. Or you could write her name. So I'm just gonna write her name for short. And these are really great to write with. So you can do it as thick or as thin as you want. So, and you could come back and you could accent it. So maybe we want to do something, some little lines on either side. You can have fun decorating it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back with my yellow because I, of course, want my lightning bolts and my outside to kind of glow in the dark. So I'm going to add some lines on the outside of here, and I'm not going to do every single one because I want to have a fun pattern so you guys can get creative with how you outline it. So we're just going to do little pieces, and then you could also outline the top, right? So we can outline our whole lightning bolt. Your last step with this, I'm going to show you when it's dry in a second, but your last step is going to be to take a piece of string or ribbon or whatever you have, and you're going to want to glue this right here at the top behind so that your child can tie it in a nice little bow around their shoulders. Okay, here's what it looks like. I'm gonna set this guy down to dry. Here is what it looks like. And I did Super Lily on this one. So you can check out and see what it looks like. You can have some fun, and then it will also glow in the dark. All right, so far, we're not done yet because we've got another piece to make. So far, we've got a cape. We also have our t-shirts. So I'm going to show you kind of what they look like together. So you kind of have both. Now, every superhero needs a mask, right? So we're going to make a mask next, and then I'll show you an optional ad that you can add in if your kid wants some cuffs as well. You know, those cuffs have super powers in them. All right, so we're going to set these two aside, and we're going to make a mask. So at Michael's, there are different shape paper masks. So this is actually a butterfly shape, but we're going to turn it into a superhero mask. So in the pack, and we've got a link to these as well as the links to the products I'm using. So if you do have questions or want to find out where to get these, get them online, get them in the store. Message the account on here that you see that says Olivia asked me a question, and she will send you a link. And it comes with elastic. So these elastic pieces come with it. And there's little holes that you'll see. So what we're going to do to start is we're going to go ahead and put these elastic pieces in, and that makes it a mask that we can put around. So like that, you can see now we have the string on the back. Okay, then you want to take a piece of felt. So you can come back if you've got any scraps, or you have another red piece of felt. So notice the trend where we're keeping things simple, right? So if you buy the same pack of felt, you can use it to make a bunch of the different pieces of your costume. I traced my mask on there and cut it out. So all we did was trace it, cut it out so that it matches the same shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and we're going to glue this guy on. So just add a little glue around the edges so that the whole thing will stick. And you want to put just a little bit around the eyes so that it doesn't flap open right there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our mask on right there. Okay, I'll lift it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. And you can see now that it is glued to it. Now we have the fun part. We get to decorate. So again, I had some scrap foam left over from cutting out my other lightning bolt. So I cut out two small lightning bolts so you guys can see here. And we're going to glue those right on the tip here. So we're turning our butterfly into a superhero. And there's a couple of these masks that come in the same pack. So if you've got multiple kids, they can all make something different. You can get creative with what you turn it into. It doesn't have to be a butterfly. All right, so we put our lightning bolts at the top, and then I'm going to come back in with my yellow glow in the dark fabric paint and make sure that we're flowing good. I always just start off on my sheet of paper that's next to me, or if I've got my surface covered. And I'm going to add some accents to my lightning bolts so that they do glow in the dark. So I'm just going to follow the line that is on there. And then I can have some fun just kind of doing some excess lines. And you'll notice how nice these lines come out. I'm not trying very hard, right? And I'm going super quick. So you can do dots just by squeezing a little bit and pulling up, or you could just do little lines. You could do some lines off the eyes. So let your kids have some fun and then let it dry. And they have a superhero mask. So this one I stayed pretty simple with. So you guys can see this one. It is dry. So check out that guy. All right, so we're building our pieces, right? So we've got all the pieces that we're gonna make today, and I'm gonna show you 2 more pieces that your kiddos can add to their costume. So again, using the same things, kind of some of those excess supplies. All right, so let's lay out our costume so you guys can kind of see how it all comes together. We're gonna set this one aside. All right, so we're gonna start. We've got our t-shirt. You guys can see that. How fun is that? Remember, this glows in the dark, which is super cool. And then we've got our cape. So we'll add our cape in here. Say we've got our personalized cape that goes with it. We've got our string that we can just slip up there. And then we've got our mask. So you've got the mask that goes with it. And then I'm a little extra. So I like all the pieces. We made some little wrist cuffs. So these are really easy. Just using that scrap of felt that you have, cut out a rectangle that fits your child's wrist, grab some ribbon or some twine, whatever you've got. And then we took our yellow glow in the dark and we made some lightning bolts on there. And then these will tie around your kiddos' wrists. So you could do these for their ankles as well. You can make shin guards with them. So if they want shin guards, you can also do those. So we've got 2 of those that match the costume as well. And that is our superhero costume. Do you guys like it? I would love for you to know, even if you send the Olivia Ask Me a Question account, tell us if you like it. We want to see what you guys are making too. So make sure that if you do make this costume or any of the other ones that I'm sharing this week, that you guys use the hashtag #TulipCrafts and hashtag Make It with Michaels. And we check those out. So easy last minute ideas to make your Halloween fun and special no matter what you're doing. And I have another class tomorrow and we're doing 2 crafts. So we're going to be tie-dyeing one, which is awesome, using a really cool product that you may not have used before that Tulip makes. So you're going to make sure that you want to tune in for that. And then we're also going to be making a fun little monster shirt as well. So that class is tomorrow at the same time. So starting at 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. So you got to sign up ahead of time. So head back over to the Michaels website in the class section and make sure you sign up. And if you missed the party animal class, for those costumes, you can head back over to that same web page. The replay of that is posted as well. And you got the supply list too. So make sure you head to Michaels and you can check out any of the Tulip products that I used today. You can purchase online or you can purchase in the store. There's tons of purchasing options based on where you live. So lots of ways that you can get crafty with some of my favorite products. So I'm excited to be here with them today. I've been using these since I was a wetot, since my daughter's age. My daughter's about to be 3. So I want to see what you guys are making, and I hope to see you guys here tomorrow night for our last night of last minute Halloween costumes. All right, guys, do we have any last minute questions that we can answer? Are we good? Awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in and crafting with me. Hopefully I'll see you back here at the same time tomorrow night. Be kind, inspire someone, and happy Halloween week. Bye, guys.